Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the rich controls in ASP.NET. In the previous session of this second unit, we discussed about the HTML control and the web server control. Rich control. What is rich control? From the name itself, it has richer functionality and more interactivity than others. So these controls, these controls, rich control is command also come under the web controls. So these type of web controls are sometimes referred to as rich controls. It uses the dynamic HTML and some client-side script. Okay, here the rich controls are already I said it. No, they are web controls which have complex user interface elements. It renders with the sequence of dynamic HTML and may even use client-side JavaScript. Okay, got it, students? Next, there are two types of rich controls. They are calendar control and the add rotator control. First, we are going to discuss about the calendar control. What is meant by calendar control? A calendar control is used to create a rich functionality and good looking calendar that shows 1 month at a time. It is used to, it helps the user can move from month to month, select a date and even select a range of days. We can select a single date and also select a range of days, that is the multiple number of days. Its ASP.NET tag is ASP:calendar. Next, what are the properties of rich control? That rich controls, that is calendar control. The properties are day header style, day name format, day style, first day of week, next month day text, next previous format, next previous style, previous month text, selected date, selected dates, selection mode, select month text, select week text, show day header, show grid lines, show next previous month, show title, today's date. These are the properties of calendar control. Next, and only one event, that is selection change. Just like our checkbox, drop down list, our calendar control consists of also an event selection change. Before that, I will explain some of the things about calendar control. It helps the user easily by user input of dates. It solves the data entry problems by allowing the user to select dates graphically. The calendar control can also be customized with a variety of styles, colors and fonts. This is discussed in these varieties of styles, colors and fonts are changed with the help of the properties of calendar control, that is listed in this slide. Calendar control, properties of calendar control. Okay, got it, students? Next, it consists of some properties, cell padding, etc. etc. Next, previous cell, it has also some properties. Next, it has only one event, that is selection change. After that, we are going to discuss about the add rotator control. Add rotator. What is meant by add rotator? It helps to display the banner advertisement. To maximize the effectiveness of the banner advertisement, it will be display rotated advertisements that would be most relevant to each user browsing the site. Okay, got it, students? Next, the add rotator is used to randomly select the banner from the list that is specified in the external XML. I already told you, no, it helps to display the banner advertisement. These advertisements are stored in an external XML file. we link the external XML file with the add rotator control. We can add as many number of banners in the XML file. While we connect the XML file to the add rotator control, it will randomly select the banner from the list which are specified in the external XML file. Before using our add rotator control, we must first create the XML file. The ASP tag for add rotator is ASP:add rotator. Next, its properties are advertisement file, alternate text field, image URL field, navigate URL field, keyword filter. Next, it has an event add created. Next, what are the steps to create an XML file for the add rotator control? How to create an XML file for the add rotator control? Just right click on the website in the Solution Explorer. Just we right click on the Solution Explorer. From that, select add new item from the pop-up menu. Here we select the XML file template from the wizard. Give an name and click the add button. Now you may write the XML file which consists of the various advertisements. Here some of the elements which are used in the XML file for the advertisements. First element is image URL. Image URL means the relative path of the image. Navigate URL. That means while we click the advertisement, which page will be opened. That is the URL of a page to link to if the user clicks the ad. Next, alternate text. Text displayed in the place of the image. We will click on the image. Keyword. It helps to filter our advertisement. Next, impression. It shows the importance of the ad. The larger the number, the more often display the ad. Here is the XML file for add rotator. First, the whole XML file is enclosed within advertisements tag. We already know, I think you already know, XML file has user defined tag. Here I am creating an advertisement file, so the XML file is open starting and end with advertisements. Inside that, each and every advertisement is separated by AD tag. Here it consists of certain elements, that is image URL, navigate URL, alternate text, impressions and keyword. Here I am adding 1, 2, 3, 4 number of advertisements. Okay. Next we are going to discuss about the validation control. I already told you, validation. What is the purpose of validation in our ASP.NET? Yeah, validating our input which are given through the interface. It helps to check the data being entered for validity. Next, it provides a series of web controls that aid in the process of validating data. These series of web controls are collectively known as validation controls. It may operate with any web browser and can provide client-side or server-side validation. It is based on the validation, the clients, it may either client-side validation or server-side validation. It is depends on the browser's capability. It may validate an input against several standard or certain rules. If the validation fails, you can prevent page processing or allow these controls to show an error message. In Visual Studio, these controls are found in the validation tab. Okay. Next, first validation control is base validator control. This base validator class provides the core implementation of all validation controls. It means compare validator, regular expression validator, required field validator. These all validation controls are implemented with the class of base validator. These validation controls are used to validate input in an associated input controls. While an user enter a value, if it does not match the validation criteria, it displays an error message. The validation control is separated from the input control. That means validation control is individual one and an input control is individual. They are separate. We can position the error message anywhere in the page. It may display at either on the top of the page or bottom of the page or right side of the page. Whatever we design. It provides several validation controls that perform specific types of validation. Next, the base validator class consists of the certain properties. Control to validate, it is common for all validation control. Control to validate, error message, text, display is valid, set focus on error, properties valid, validation group, validation empty text. All the validation controls, that is except the validation summary, must inherit all the common properties of base validator class. The validation summary control does not inherit the common properties of base validator class. Next, first one is required field validator. It is a compulsory field. We don't leave the input blank. We must enter it. The required field validator control is used to make an input control a required or compulsory field. It checks whether the control is empty or not when the form is submitted. We may associate multiple validator for a same input control. Its properties are initial value. From the name itself, initial value means the setter gets the first value of the field. Next, we move on to the range validator. Range validator control is used to check whether the value is specified within the range or not. Its properties are minimum value, maximum value and the type. Type means it may either a character data type or number data, integer data type or double or date or currency etc. These are type. Next, compare validator. It will compare any two input such as a text box control with the value entered in another input control or a constant value. Then for example, while we are entering the password, another one field consists of confirm password. That password input field and the confirm password input field must be compared in any application. It is compared with the help of compare validator. It passes validation if the value of the input control matches the criteria. Its properties are control to validate, value to compare, operator. Operator means if these two values are equal to or not equal to or greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, such that relational operators. Next, type, data type. Next, regular expression operator. Regular expression validator. It is based on by checking the input control matches with a certain pattern defined by a regular expression. For example, for a phone number entry field, for a mobile number there must be a 10-digit integer value. For an email address there must be a certain expression. First the username, next @ after that domain dot some subdomains. These types of validation allows to check the email addresses, telephone numbers and postal codes. Its properties are validation expression. Next, the last one is the validation summary. It will summarize all the error messages from all validators on a web page in a single location. For example, in a registration page, there must be an first name, middle name, last name and middle name. After that, there must be date of birth. After that, there must be a country name. After that, state, district, etc., etc. These fields, if these fields, if you said these fields are mandatory, means if you leave any of the field blank, or if you give an input as mistakenly, there must be certain types of certain validation controls are there to check the validity of the entered input. These error messages are summarized either in the top of the page or bottom of the page, wherever you design. Its properties are display mode, show summary, show message box. Next, custom validator. Custom validator means we can create our own validation. The custom validator control is used to provide a user-defined validation for an input control. It performs validation on the server. They also have complete client-side implementation. It allows script-enabled browser to perform validation on the client. For creating a server-side validation function, we have to provide a handler for the server validate event. The value of the input control that is to be validated can be accessed by using the value property of the server validate event args. Okay. Next, the result of the validation is then stored in a is valid property of the server validate event args. Next, to create a client-side validation function, first add the server-side validation function. After that, add the client side. First, we must add the server-side validation function. After that, we add the client-side validation function to the ASP.NET page, that is .aspx extension page. Its properties are client validation function. Its default event is server validate. Okay, validation control is an important question for our semester examination. So, study well, don't omit any questions. Okay, I think day one order we have examination. Be prepared. Okay, students. Okay, thank you, students.